Welcome back to the Cricket Show, where myself, Michael Atherton and Nasser Hussain have been joined by England's Mark Wood, a rather sinister-looking England's Mark Wood. Where on earth are you, and what's that haircut all about?
Tucked away in the house, just freshly trimmed. I suppose I can't smile on an interview now. I'll have to have my arms crossed and look stern all the time. It's making me fast bowling image look even meaner, aren't I? That's the thing.
How's things and how's training been? I mean, according to your Instagram account, all of a sudden in this layoff, you've gained about 25 miles an hour and now not bowling at 123 clicks, 123 miles an hour, it said.
Yeah, I'm going from 26 mile an hour to 123. That's pretty impressive, isn't it? Especially off 3 yards. So I think it was a little bit broken, that speed gun. But yeah, training's going well. It's a bit weird being sort of by yourself, having to stay a certain distance away from the bowling coach and the physio. You come into the ground and the physio's in full PPE to get my ankle strapped and things. It's just a weird feeling with the balls and that as well. You can't obviously shine the ball, not rub sweat or anything like that on it. So just trying to find a way at the minute to, I mean, they're relatively new at the minute, but find a way later on where we can make something happen. I mean, as you can see on the screen there, it was pretty green. So it sort of, that would help a little bit. But when we come later in the summer down south, it might be totally different. So we'll just have to find a way.
So just be clear, you're not allowed to obviously put saliva on the ball, but no sweat either. And I noticed headbands are being worn. How counterintuitive is it not to just walk back, lick your fingers, shine the ball, sweat off your brow,
honestly,
or whatever it is like that?
It's a nightmare. You take so much for granted. Like just little things. Like I don't know why, but when I walk back my mouth, I'd like to flick the stump. I'm like, oh, and then stopping and then having to walk back, and the balls, they kind of shine the ball, and it's just weird, like little tiny things like wiping sweat, and it's just a strange feeling. It's actually from a motivation point of view, I found it a little bit difficult. Like now we have got an end goal of getting back to cricket, but it feels a bit dead at the minute. Like I want that competitive edge again. I think if all this goes well and we're allowed to be in small groups again, and I can bowl at Stokesy and he can bowl at me, I think that'll speed things up and start to get flowing again.
Well, that'll get the juices going if you can get competitive again.
Yeah, I think so. At the minute, that's the thing. At the minute, it's because it's like such early stages, and you're so like isolated and by yourself, and it's literally out of the car onto the field, bowl, back in the car, and go. I mean, I've been in for strap my ankle, and I went in the gym to use one bit of equipment, but it's everything's sort of cordoned off. My hands are a bit battered from the amount of alcohol gel I've put on. I was being that cautious. Every ball I've bowled, I've put alcohol gel on. I'm not sure the umpires will give us that in between balls, but it's been sort of safety first, which is the way it should be.
A couple of questions from me, Woody. The obvious one about the body after such a long layoff. And secondly, when it comes to selection, if England have to separate their teams between tests and one days, and you were given the choice, which way would you go?
So you're asking the easy questions, Athers. I think my body's all right. I feel quite good. I've kept my fitness levels up, and we've had constant contact with the strength coach and the nutritionist, things like that. So we're being brilliantly looked after, just so that the gap isn't as big when we come back to play. And it's not like I've done nothing and then I'm expected to bowl a certain amount of overs, or that first walk around the field, you're always a bit stiffer after that first game or the first, I don't know, whatever miles in the legs you cover. So it's just trying to bridge that gap a little bit. And I feel like training has gone well for me, and I'm hoping that the bowling will kick in. I have to take it a little bit steady because with my track record with my ankle and things, I can't just go from sort of A to C to D. I've got to go through the steps slowly to get there. So although it does say 123 mile an hour, I'm not sure that was quite right. And then on both of them, I think it's a good question. I mean, I love playing for England in any format. I'm very passionate about playing for England. I think personally, with the last game being the Test match where I did so well, I'd love to try and keep my place there. I know obviously in home conditions, there's maybe bowlers that are better suited than myself, and I maybe be better suited abroad. But coming off a man of the match performance, I'd love to try and keep my spot and keep that momentum going where I bowled well. And the fact that I got hit at every part of South Africa in the 2020s is just putting a little bit of damper on the one-day cricket.
Woody, with football, it seems as if there's a little bit more disquiet about getting back playing. I know that's a contact sport. You'll be in various WhatsApp groups. What's the feeling in amongst the cricketers at the moment? Is it across the board? It seems like you want to get back playing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's across the board. I think we've asked some hard questions. The team doctor is someone that everybody's in constant in touch with, and the physios talking about things. I think we've asked some pretty hard questions, some things that need to be answered around families, about safety, around the general public. You know, it's not just us that's going to be in these environments. It's going to be caterers, cameramen, everybody. So you want to make sure that opposition, everybody's looked after. It's not just us, and how much can you go in and out the environment, things like that. So we have asked some tough questions, and I think we've had some good answers back that would trust the team doctor. A lot like the Bangladesh tour, where there was security issues, we trusted the security manager. They're the expert, and the team doctor's been around for a long time around the team, and a lot of people know him and would trust what he's got to say. So all in all, it's pretty positive.
Do you have any concerns about going into these biosecure grounds where you might be in lockdown for quite a period of time?
I have, like everybody in society, I've felt nervous at times. Like we're getting in our own routine here at home. To come out of that routine, I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't a little bit nervous. But with going to Durham and training, things have been great so far. And everything's happened the way that the management said it would. So first and foremost, I think there's obviously the bigger picture than cricket, and cricket's had to sort of take that sort of be on the back burner a little bit, and rightly so. But if it's going to help people and it's something that can really put a smile on people's faces again, then I'm sure we're all ready to go and take that step. But being in that secure environment, I suppose it's like being on a long tour where you can't leave the hotel, or a place where it's not that easy to leave the hotel. And you'll be in your sort of own little family, I guess. There'll be, as much as you're sort of isolated with your family here, or you've been told not to visit other households, it'll be the same. In that environment, we'll be very much sticking together and making sure that nothing gets in or out.
For you, is this about getting back and playing Test match cricket, ODI cricket, doing your job, or is it also with an eye to saving cricket, really?
I think it's a bit of both. I think we've got responsibility as role models and players to promote the game in a good way. It's also to help fellow county cricketers. I don't want to say any county cricketers struggling, or any counties, in fact, struggling. So, there's a lot of uproar, I guess, at the minute about what's happening with them. Our lads in the last year, their contract's going to be unfortunately hit, and if international cricket's an important part of that to helping those lads, then I'm sure we're more than willing to help.
What are you talking about, the 45 names or so that the selectors might come up with in the next couple of days of those who are back in and around training? I wondered, from your perspective as a bowler, whether there's anybody a name that you might give us of somebody, a young player we might not have seen so much of, somebody who has given you a bit of clout in a match somewhere, or somebody, a surprising name perhaps that the selectors might be looking at that we've not really talked about.
Well, I think, for example, someone like, these are names that you will have come across, but like a Jamie Porter, he's been taking a lot of wickets in county cricket, and I know he's been looked at. Bryden Coss from Durham, he's a fast bowler. He's someone that can bowl good licks, so be interesting to see. He went away with the Lions. We went on a camp. I know I'm talking purely bowlers here, and I'll mention batters in a minute, but we went on a training camp to South Africa before the Test series. Me and Jimmy went early. And Ollie Robinson looked really good. Someone that I hadn't played against a lot, but he impressed me with how accurate he was and the skill level that he had. And I think he's someone that could come in. Batting wise, I'm trying to think of the Lions players I would have played with. Obviously,
you played against Dan Lawrence,
but not against him, but I played with him. Very unorthodox player, but he's good. So he's definitely someone I think they'll be looking at.
Woody, with the squads that we're talking about there, some young players, is a senior guy that Owen Morgan has been talking about, and that's Alex Hales. And he sort of poured a bit of cold water really on whether or not he would be included. He talks about the lack of trust, etc. Now, Chris Wokes has had his say on it. You were obviously part of the team meeting when it all broke ahead of the World Cup, and a very difficult decision to push Alex Hales out of that World Cup squad. Has he served his time? Would you be happy to play with him again?
Yes, and no, I guess. I think it's a difficult one. I think if that trust isn't there with the captain and the management, then I think it's very hard for the rest of the players to jump on board with that. I think, once they're comfortable with it and the trust is back, or the breakdown of trust, I think was what was used. Once that's back, I think the players might be open to him coming back into the environment. I'm sure he would be treated exactly the same. The only thing that I think is difficult is that, if a player's come in and earned that spot and done really well, do you just leave them out for Alex to come back in? He's obviously a fantastic player, but it just depends on, if there's guys who don't get a second chance, or someone who's worked hard to try and get that opportunity, or they're already in the squad, I guess. Do they deserve the chance more than him? I don't know. That's for the top brass to talk about. But I think he would be welcome back if that trust was built back up from the people above.
Woody, we appreciate your time. What's on the agenda for you this afternoon? You were mentioning to me potentially a swim in the North Sea. It's hardly the Caribbean, so are you seriously going to do that?
I am. I'll probably just be short today. I don't know if I'll wear a t-shirt. Probably just be shorts. We'll see. Got to go out to the beach. Take me little lad for the first time, so I'll maybe hoy him in, see how he gets on.
Good luck with that, and good luck with the training. We appreciate your time. Thanks very much indeed.
Thanks. Good
We're
to
going
see you,
to stay
lads.
with bowling. Cheers, Woody. We're going to stay with bowling next.